Today we're participating at King Hack. We created an AI conversational platform using Backboard as the backend for our AI agents. An example we can give is that, a student who wants to learn during a commute on a train, for example, and they don't just want to listen to a passive podcast. They want something more that they can interact with and ask questions to. They might put in some of their lecture material, for example, on diabetes. They say, okay, generate me a podcast with these topics. I want to learn about type 1 and type 2 diabetes. It generates a podcast script, and you can have 1, 2, or 3 hosts, similar to Notebook LM's podcast feature. But the key difference with ours is that, let's say you have a question about, okay, well, can you give me more specifics on why the difference between type 1 and type 2 diabetes? It'll stop the podcast and it'll go, oh, okay, let me, reiterate this. And then it can continue on the topics for the podcast you have. And we use Backboard for that, and specifically Backboard's memory.
How does the memory make it better?
Once we interrupt, the previous conversation that has happened so far with the host in the podcast is kind of compressed down, and we leverage Backboard to be able to store the semantic meaning and also save up on tokens, so that when we are generating the answer for the interruption question, it also is able to answer that and smoothly transitions on to what to say next in the podcast. Especially because we also wanted to integrate a RAG component. It kind of helped solve that, and we didn't have to worry about making our own vector database, doing chunking and stuff like that. It was kind of managed by Backboard.
A cool feature that we found pretty useful with the Backboard was the AI agents for assistance in our app. We were able to create a cool prompt where we can have multiple hosts talking to each other with only one assistant, which kind of simulates a cool podcast experience.
Probably would have taken at least 3 more days if we were using a separate RAG, using OpenAI or Gemini straight away, and then dealing with persistent agents. That would have been a headache. Versus Backboard, it was one API, took us maybe 2 hours at best just to get everything in there, and boom, we were pretty much done with the agent aspect and managing agents.